is that the telecom has been transformed the way that we communicate, that we conduct businesses and entertain, generating an industry that is about like $1.5 trillion just last year. And this is amazing because with every evolution in the industry, it also brings our challenges. Challenges that, that we can see about like the issue of advancing in the telecommunication area. While the regulation has given us an opportunity to have new entrants, new type of communications, new industries, it has also bring us market fragmentation and an exponential increase of intermediaries and new entrants that are threatening the life, per se, of many of the telecom operators. So if you're a telecom operator today, you are balancing your act in between dealing with market share, being in a survival mode, going and then creating these pricing issues and strategies in order to keep yourself competitive in a landscape, and as well as creating the opportunity for others to break down your network with the intrusion of cybersecurity, but at the same time, with the legacy of all that you have in your computer networks, with the legacy limits on investment. Well, all of this has created our major problem, which is telecom industry is going down on the voice, on SMS calls, which is kind of like the core of what it used to be the telecommunication industry in the past. Where is the traffic going? Where is it disappearing? What is happening to it? Well, as you can tell, obviously many of that traffic is going to the OTTs, yes, WhatsApp, Skype, and all these other OTT companies that today can handle the voice. What was the last time that you actually make a phone call on your device phone regularly? Well, many companies still are doing verification services or customer services through the voice, and many of that voice is at the same time being hijacked or going some other services that you cannot see. What happens that, or what it generates to our industry, is that it creates a $30 billion financial loss for most of the telecom companies across the globe, which is not only a financial loss, but also it disrupts operations, erodes reputation, creates financial uncertainty because it strains your cash flow. It creates a lot of inaccurate reporting because the reports that what you believe that it says your company doesn't have, and then obviously reduces transparency. What the biggest issues of all these problems that it can be on the bottom line of your spreadsheet is you have areas of bypass, roaming fraud, caller ID spoofing, route hijacking, number range fraud, as well as the robocall fraud, which for instance right now in the United States all the robocalls are already forbidden. And the same thing in the major issues for small telecom operators that are local. You have the number range frauds, the traffic inflation, and then the technical fraud. Why does this happen? How come we are in this situation? Well, we're in this situation because we got advanced fraud tactics from these fraudsters that are using sophisticated methods in order to exploit the vulnerabilities, and then they're staying ahead of everything that we created. AI, as we know, is a good thing, but at the same time, it's a bad thing because the guys, the fraudsters, are using not only the rudimentary system, but also AI in order to keep up with whatever techniques and methods you are using to stop them. That creates erosion of trust, because if you are a carrier that is terminating or originating traffic for your customers and your traffic is being hijacked, most likely you will end up out of route. So what happens is that when you don't have these capabilities to understand and stop fraud right away, you might be out of business soon. The legacy system constraints that many of the big telco companies, yes, they might getting all these old systems in the network. It's not necessarily the good thing or opportunity thing for them to eventually get into the next level so they can stop fraud. And most of the fraud, today the solutions, what happens is that they are asynchronous, which means is that whatever system that we have today, you see it when it has already passed. Most of the fraud and cybersecurity threats that happens is because the data that you have in your company is at the same time as you are creating new data in order to stop the fraudsters are creating and using your own data to create new loopholes where they can actually commit their fraud. So you can see that you get fraud in the areas of originating traffic when your customers are roaming, or in all the chain, distribution chain, until all the way into you do a termination of your call. All those are areas that you can do. With Net2Chain, what we did is that we created a network, which is basically a blockchain platform that is helping you to validate, authenticate, and verify every single call that passed through your network, and that it is completely real-time, offering trust and transparency. So with that, we do revenue protection, because we directly address the revenue leakage by safeguarding against unauthorized access or monitoring and stopping fraudulent activities. We restore trust because we rebuild the customer confidence through transparent and verified transactions across your telecommunications network. And what we do is that we help you creating a future-proof infrastructure, because it's adaptable and scalable, that it will evolve with the telecom industry as it advances in emergency security threats. The innovative blockchain technology, what we use in Net2Chain, is that we utilize blockchain for all those unbreachable securities, offering a robust defense against any evolve of fraud tactics. So the path forward is real-time, end-to-end, authentication, verification, and validation for all types of telecommunication services. Our foundation pillars in Net2Chain is transparency, neutrality, independency, and privacy, which means that as you are inside of our chain, the Net2Chain blockchain, your company won't have the opportunity to be attacked by any of the fraudsters on this. We have several core functionalities. One of them is a live authentication of transmission receipt, which in today, what happens is that when you send the call, if it's not over our chain or our blockchain, what is going to happen, you have, like as I showed before, the areas of loophole and potential fraud. So what we do is that we are live authenticating the transmission and receipt for any of the destinations across your network during the initiation of the call and all the way through the supply chain until it terminates the call. What it does is that it identifies any service hijack or any bypass or any ID manipulation around the network, and it will do it on real time. We also, another area that we cover is live validation of transmission origin. We make sure that the transmission origin network, it delivers a real receipt by the service requester. And then it will ensure the real time of any problem that you will have with the caller ID. Have you ever received a caller ID that it looks like it's your mom calling and it's not your mom calling, it's whoever? Well, this will stop the situation, and it will do it on real time over blockchain. We do that. At the same time, it's the best way to reconcile your network, because when you have reconciliation of transmission, then you can guarantee that whatever you are doing and trespassing over your network, it really happens. So our service allows you that. The easiest thing of this is that it's a seamless integration. We have a seamless integration where any stakeholder during the supply chain across the whole network, could be an operator, a reseller, or an enterprise, can seamlessly integrate with our network by just simply deploying in through our blockchain API, or either on cloud, on premises. So if your network is so open that you can do on cloud, we got you there. We are very easy to work on compatibility in any of your systems and platform. We can help you with a deployable solution because it's very easy, it's plug and play basically. It also runs autonomically, where it is independent of other operation systems that you have, so you don't have to disrupt your own operation systems. And definitely is economical because it has a cost-effective on both the setup and running the operation. And if you're a telecom operator, what you can do also is that you have a pure share economics. We help you absorb all this cost through new revenue services and new ways and streaming that you can get new revenue out of new services that you will enabling in your company. So you can pay and get paid. That's pretty cool for being a telecom operator, where the revenues are going, we don't know where. Who benefits? Telecom operators, wholesalers, and enterprises that are getting into the new wave of how to do telecom inside a blockchain, which is the net-to-chain blockchain. Our services, yes, well, as we said, boost profitability. We have the opportunity to help you reduce compliance, where you will get more customers and you will retain them. You will optimize your cash flow because the fraud is not going to be there. You're going to increase revenue because we're helping you with new services. And as well, you're going to get an accurate reporting. If you want to find a new way to do a collaborative future inside of the blockchain, you have to come to Net2Chain. Thank you very much. I am Diana Daniels. Thank you for everything.